Welcome to our listeners today, to our podcast today. My name's Claire Jens. I'm here today with my friend Claudia.
Hello again.
And also my other friend Lena.
Hey
here
Claire.
on the right.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about MS things once again today. So good to be with us.
Awesome.
Lovely to be here from good old Melbourne, from boiling Melbourne.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Good to be here.
Has it been boiling at the moment?
Yeah, heat waves.
No.
So Byron is good.
Byron's excellent.
And so how do you guys know each other?
Explain.
Me explain?
Yeah.
Okay. So a mutual friend, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our friend Terry, you had just arrived from the UK with your MS and your 3 children. And I know Terry and she has MS and she introduced
No,
us.
Terry didn't have MS.
No, sorry.
Not Terry.
I had MS.
MS, yeah, and I
Claire had
MS.
MS. Introduced us. We started talking. That was about, I don't know, 7, 8 something years ago.
Well, when I arrived here, it would have been 2013.
Okay.
13.
All right. So coming up to 10 years. Yeah, 10, 12 years.
Wow.
Long
Yeah.
time.
Shout out to Terry.
Yes, absolutely, Terry,
Yeah.
for sure. But Claire and I have never stopped talking,
No,
basically.
we met in a park at that first time in the park.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, and I said to you, and also to myself, did we go to school together?
Yeah.
We've been friends forever. But
Yeah.
no, we didn't know each other at
Oh.
all.
Yeah.
It was really quite surreal.
Was Lena your first friend with MS?
In Australia, yes.
In Australia?
In England, I had friends in England. And they're obviously still there. My dog in my pool is annoying me right now.
I know, I can hear her in the pool too. She's swimming laps for us all.
She's doing laps, so that's okay. And so I had friends in England, but they're all in England, was it?
Okay.
So my first friend in Australia was you.
And what about for you, Lena? Was Claire your first friend with MS?
No, I've had MS coming up to 30 years.
Wow.
I know, a long time.
So you've had it longer than Claire.
Yeah.
I
it's
haven't
been a
met
long
anyone
time.
who's had it longer than Claire. Wow, Lena.
Yeah. So yes, no, and because I just talk to anybody and
really?
everybody. My family say I talk to dead people.
I think us three have that in common.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
No, it's good. It's social. It's
Yeah,
polite.
so yes, I'm very lucky to, have lots of MS friends. I call them my monster friends.
Yes, Claire's told me that.
Because monster MS.
Monster, and MS is a
MS
monster.
is a monster.
It's a
I love
monster.
it. It's
Yeah.
very funny. I
Yeah.
think that's I think you mentioned that in the doco. That must be where I heard it
Yeah.
before. I
Yeah.
love it. I've never forgotten it.
Yeah.
Monster
yeah.
friend. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's our thing.
Yeah.
So today, I want to discuss today one of the symptoms that MS luckily gives us, which is a horrible symptom, is pain. And pain is not talked about enough about how bad it really is, and it's invisible totally. And so people with MS are often suffering untold amount of pain and harm all the way through, and yet no one knows anything of it. So visible symptoms are quite difficult to even explain or feel or empathise with, nothing. But Lena here has chronic pain 24/7, and it's been here forever. And I think you should explain what it really feels like and how it changes your life.
Okay. So I have what they call neuropathic pain. It's on my right side. Starts at the top of my head, back of my head, my neck, just goes all the way down to my feet. And I've had it for about 8 years now. Am I allowed to swear? No.
Yeah, you fucking are.
Okay. I've had it for 8 long fucking years. That is a long, long time. It's also been long enough for me to just adapt and get used to it. So I try and distract myself. See, we're now talking about it. I'm feeling it 1,000 times more.
Wow.
Because we're talking about it, so I'm remembering it.
It's there.
When we hadn't mentioned it before, wasn't even thinking about it. So anyway, it's the neuropathic pain. Sometimes I describe it like I have, imagine like a clamp on me, and it's just squeezing, and it's just horrid. I get some relief from it, from some meds, and one of my main ones is Lyrica. Now, people listening to this podcast, if you've had pain or if you have MS, they know Lyrica is a drug.
I've actually been prescribed it.
Right. So Lyrica is my best friend.
It's your best friend. Yes, it works wonders for nerve pain. I've heard. Yeah.
Yes. My problem is though that sometimes my pain is so intense and severe that I need to increase the level of the Lyrica. And so I take 150 grams during the day, then I take 150 at night. But anywhere in between, I have to increase it. And if it's really bad and I increase it to 300, then I can't drive, I can barely walk, I just can't. So that's the thing. It's there's this drug that can kind of like take care of the pain, but the effect of that drug is that I'm a zombie. That's what I say, I'm a zombie.
And that's what I was going to ask you. A brief story. I have had chronic back pain since I was about 15, 16. It is a lot better than it used to be, which I thank the Lord for. And I was prescribed it when I was just about to turn 17.
Wow.
And I went from a neurosurgeon and I went to the chemist to get it. And the pharmacist pulled me aside and he said, do you know what this is? I said, I've just been prescribed it from this really good neurosurgeon. And he just said, you're really young, so I want to talk to you about the side effects. And he actually scared me out of it, which later on was good for me, being really young. But the side effects was brain fog and your coordination.
Yes.
So would you talk about some of those side effects and how they affect you daily?
Absolutely. Brain fog is something that's been with me for such a long time that it's like...
You're used to it?
Oh, yes, I'm used to it, but it's also, if I sit and think about it, it also makes me so sad because pre-brain fog, the really intense neuropathic pain, I had a really good job. I had a really good job, high-level job, and brain fog just makes me feel stupid. It makes me think people just must think I'm stupid.
And you're both, because I know Claire suffers with the brain fog too, and you're both so intellectual and really highly intelligent, just smart women in general.
Thank you.
So I can't even imagine the feeling of, that's not what you are, but it makes you feel that way. That would be fucked.
Yeah. I feel, and I know Claire feels, ripped off. That brain fog makes me feel ripped off because I used to be really smart. I used to be sharp, high level and sharp.
I miss being sharp,
organised.
So
I used to be the main organiser in all my friends and family.
Yeah.
Anything needed organising, I was the one.
Yeah.
We used to travel as a family. It was always me that used to book the flights, book the hotels. It used to be so much fun, and I always used to say to people, planning and organising a trip is often more fun than the trip itself.
Oh, wow.
Well, now when we have family holidays, I don't book them. I can't book them.
How does that feel? Because I love to organise as well. It's hard enough as an organiser sometimes relinquishing control and saying, all right, someone else can do it. What is that experience like when you just have to sit back now and let someone else do it? That would be awful.
Cheated. I feel cheated and it makes me angry.
And no one could do it as good as you as well.
At the time.
As a queen organiser,
Exactly. Thank you. You're damn right. I used to be, and Claire would say this about her job. All the travelling you used to do.
I had to travel with a job all the time and working long hours and just that hard job. And I do feel ripped off for that. I think actually I felt it sort of, that sounds really bad. It just defined me. It made me feel good about myself and sort of sharp. And I was very top of the world. And now I feel very... To the point that I can't follow books now. Like my brain now is at a stage where I used to be a reader or entrepreneur. A reader
extraordinaire.
That's right. Reader
smart.
extraordinaire. But now I find books now, if it's too many characters, I can't read them. So my brain can't follow the storyline that goes with those different characters. And even books that we talked about before, books that have, talking too fast, books that have, the way they write the book is like the story goes from time frames.
Yeah.
So the book goes backwards and forwards in time.
Yeah.
I find it hard to keep up to the storyline going into who's reading, who's that person now?
Yeah.
Oh, they've gone ahead 200 years. They've gone, now I've lost my the storyline now is gone.
Yeah.
And I can't, and so anything I put it down, it's too hard to understand.
And it's mean.
It's mean.
I think it's mean.
It is mean, that's why I used to read and I used to enjoy that challenge.
Yes.
Now I just don't do
exactly the same.
And reading something you should be able to do when you're at your sickest and you're in bed. That's
awful. That's ripped off.
Yeah, totally. I'm the same though with TV, mini-series, series on TV.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I share with my husband. We sit and we watch a mini-series.
Yeah.
and we'll be watching something, a series, and then I'll say to him, who's that guy?
Yeah.
What's he? And he'll look at me and he'll go, that's Peter, that's the main one. I feel so dumb. I feel dumb.
Yeah.
And that it's
It's
sad.
demoralising. It is.
Yeah.
Because I think with the thing I said,
Yes, demoralising,
I
that's
said,
the word.
I said to John, we go to cinema. I go to the cinema to watch a
Oh, my
movie or
God,
whatever.
yeah.
And Mama said, who's that person again? Who's
Yeah.
that person again? It's almost pointless me going because I can't remember the
Yeah.
story. So I think, why am I even here?
Yeah.
It's just such a shame that I like going to movies, but
Yeah.
you know, we missed out on lots
Yeah.
of things that our brains can't catch up. And I think, are we just stupid? No.
No.
Beforehand, I was good this
But
stuff.
it makes you feel it.
You feel stupid.
It makes you
I had,
feel it.
I had a thought which is really mean, but it's true. I thought it would have been easier to get MS if you're already stupid.
So true.
It's very mean, but true. You don't even notice you're losing your faculties going down. You don't know that. Whereas we were
MS
smart,
does not discriminate,
no,
my love.
if you were clever, you still get MS. It sounds
Yeah.
really mean, but
No, it's
you
true.
lose your cleverness. It's the word cleverness.
Yeah.
Lose your brain.
Yeah.
And it goes to be very. My dog's now on my foot. Wet. It's just kind of
Chewing
gross,
her
but-
stick.
Chewing her stick. But
And I think any way either of you feel is valid. And what you're talking about now is so perfect, summing up 1,000 little MS
Yeah,
things, because
thank you.
you've got the hectic shit, like your constant pain.
Yes.
But you've also got something as small as not being able to read and follow a story or
Yes.
remember who the main character is. It's in those tiny pieces of your day-to-day, which for people to understand,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that's
I do.
fucking awful.
It is. Because I think people, when we say 1,000 little things, people think you're exaggerating. No, we aren't. There are the
Yeah.
tiny little things. Like, even
Yeah.
like me walking,
Yeah.
I think about where the stairs are.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure I can hold on there. Like little tiny little annoying things that shouldn't think about into your brain ever.
Yeah.
But you have to think, I can't do this text. It's a bit too tall for me today.
Yeah.
Or little, if it's too dark, I can't see. If it's too
Yeah.
hot, I can't do this.
Yeah, there's
all
so
these-
many limitations.
That's a very good
But
word.
Claire, yes, there's limitations, but you and I both know that we still try and live lives
Yes.
and do amazing things.
We do.
We
try
are
and-
not
yeah.
calling,
MS doesn't
curling
define
the
us. It doesn't define
curl
us.
into a ball
No.
people.
No, we don't do that. We give up. We give as good as we get.
Yeah, we still
can't-
live life, you know.
You have to, because otherwise
Yeah.
you give up. We give up and
Yeah,
give up.
and we have a lot of life to live.
We do, darling. We do.
You
We
know,
do that too.
despite these limitations.
Yeah.
And sometimes you want to stomp and scream and get it all out there, but
Oh, yeah,
that
we
is
do.
your foundation of you know actually how strong you are.
Yeah.
And you've got this.
And people say to you, I'm talking to you too, people say, you're so strong. Even MS people all know this. People say to you, how are you so strong? I say, no, I'm not strong. I'm just dealing with my shit I've been given.
Yeah.
Which has made you
Everyone
strong.
does it. It's made us strong. But
Yeah.
now my other thing is that everyone's strong, because everyone, when life throws you a curveball,
Not everyone, sorry.
everyone finds strong. They do. Everyone eventually finds
Not
a...
everyone,
No,
Claire.
never,
I
no.
don't think.
You
I don't
reckon?
think. No, my God, are we disagreeing for the first time
no,
in
but-
our lives
no,
on a
like-
podcast?
no, but-
Jesus.
Okay.
That's
I
an
think
exclusive
most
right here.
peop- Most people
Oh
can
my
find
God,
it.
60 minutes? Come
I know.
on down.
But I think that most people find a special strength when things go wrong.
I agree.
Most
right?
people.
I
Not
agree.
everyone, most people.
But you get some people that are just
Give up.
You know, the negative Nancy's
those.
that I've
I know
got
them,
MS.
I know.
Why me?
Or is me. I've not
Okay,
met one
well, I
yet.
have. I'll
Have
introduce you to them.
I've not met
Yeah.
one MS negative person yet.
Yeah.
And I think it is the why me, which from my personal experience of struggling with pain, is if you sit in why me
Yeah, oh.
and the self-loathing, you get sicker and it gets
Sicker.
worse.
100%.
And I got to
True.
this stage of it was been a few years.
And you learnt that quite young,
Yeah, you were
Claudia.
young.
Thank
Yeah,
you, which
yeah.
was, I'm grateful. And I used to always say, I can't wait till I get to a place where I'm grateful that happened to me. And I'm here.
Oh, wow.
And not all the time, but I remember I was saying something to my best friend, oh, can you get me that? I can't even walk. And she just went, I'm not your fucking slave. And then
Okay.
my brain went, no one actually cares anymore.
No.
But that was so good for me because I thought, well, no one really cares anymore. This is who
So
I am.
true. Yeah.
I can either wallow
Sort it out, sister.
or I can just carry the fuck on.
Yeah.
And it's like, you
Go,
know,
girl, yes.
And that's something, that was huge to me at that time in my life. And it's something that I still deal with. But you take that piece through every part of your life, whatever you go
do,
through.
yeah.
with.
It's with you. It's your
Yeah.
life now. It's your life.
Self-loathing, like,
Self-loathing and like feeling ripped off all the time.
yeah, you can
What's
feel
the point?
it and know it, but it's not who you are.
No,
It
that's
doesn't
right.
define
Yeah.
you.
It doesn't
Like,
define you.
yeah,
And that's
true.
massive.
Yes.
And that is what makes proper strong
strength.
people. That's where you can say strength.
That's all right.
Yeah.
You can't see
Yes.
that. My MS, my warrior. I'm a warrior. Because MS makes you a warrior. 'Cause you have no choice.
Yeah.
Because you have to be power through everything. And I was telling you yesterday about things that I've had MS now 25 years. And some of the things in England, I was so sick in England. Just crazy sick. And the things I went through then, I often think to myself, how did I do that? It was so awful. And I was so disabled and so just wrecked. It was all over. But I didn't allow it to beat me.
No,
Here I am.
the strong Claire came out.
Yeah, strong Claire.
Yeah.
Shows you what
you
you're capable of, especially as women.
As
I
women.
do think
Very
we have
girl,
this
yes.
like inner fire
Yes, we do.
We do.
of this warrior that steps through and you go, oh my God.
Wow,
you
Yes,
know?
we do.
Like
yes,
I
we
have
do.
a girlfriend
Yeah.
who struggled with insomnia, so the worst I've
Steph.
ever seen. Yes,
I know,
for
yes.
years and on and off, and it's been really bad again. And she was lost at sea and has had all this crazy thing
That's
happen
her.
to her.
Yes,
That's
that's
her.
the thing, Steph. Wow.
Sorry for
Good
another
God.
time. She's incredible, but
No
she
wonder
says,
she can't sleep.
I know, I know.
Yes.
And she says you have this warrior that steps
Yeah,
through,
survival.
and you go. She said everyone who says to her, "Oh, I would have just rolled over and died and sunk into the ocean. I wouldn't have been able to do it." She goes, "No, you actually
Yeah,
would have
no.
been.
That's
you
it.
know, as
See, this is my
women."
thing. Women find a way to get
Yeah.
there. Men find a way. Men find a way
They
too,
do,
I'm sure.
but we were burnt at the stake.
We were.
They weren't.
And thank you,
I
darling.
think
we
there's
were.
difference there when it comes to our lineage. That's
And
for
we
sure.
create and we
We
deliver
create
children,
the
honey.
children. That's
Yeah,
the way, that's
we're the
hardest part
divine
of life.
portals.
Absolutely.
Well done.
We're incredible.
Yeah.
And I did want to go back and ask you, Lena. So you've had the pain for 8 years.
Yeah.
What brought that on? Was it another
Yeah,
attack or?
I wish I knew, Claudia.
Do you
I
know?
wish I knew.
That's awful.
One of the other, okay, there's two things, and I want to say this so I don't forget. When I tell you the first one, can you remind me about the
Second
pain
one.
again?
Yeah.
But sorry, what was the first one you just asked me?
So do you know what brought the pain
Thank
on
you,
8 years
thank you.
ago?
Okay. I have short-term memory loss, like very, very badly.
Yeah, wow.
Caused by my MS. And that's why if I interrupt, I'm so sorry, but if I don't interrupt, I'll forget. So what brought the pain on, I have no idea. And that's one of the other frustrations of MS. So much happens and we just have no idea why. No idea. So I don't know.
And to not be able to hold that piece of why would you
Why it
get
happened.
lost in that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've stopped
frustration.
asking why, to be honest. But if I can go back to the pain, one of the really, really, really bad things for me is that it's invisible.
No one knows.
Yeah.
You'd
Look
never
at
know.
me. I look too good. Not too good. God, that came out so
You
bad.
do look too good,
I
though,
look too
Lena.
good. No, I meant I
look healthy.
I
You
look
do.
too healthy to have MS, and that can be frustrating. And it's the invisible. It's the invisible stuff. And my thing is, how can I expect? Okay, you, Claudia, mentioned you had that early pain,
Yes.
so you can kind of
On
understand.
some level, but not to the extent.
But someone that's never had it, how can they possibly be expected to understand what I'm experiencing? And I always say that things are relative to what's happening to you. So the massive toothache that somebody's got is killing them and way, way bigger than my neuropathic pain. You get me?
Maybe. Yeah.
For them,
For them, yes.
Yeah.
It's relevant. Yeah.
it's relative. It's relative. Did I
Relative,
say
but-
relevant or
I
relative?
said no. I said one thing that it's relevant. No, not relevant.
no.
Relative is relevant. Is that right?
No, I think it's
Relative.
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 Girls
I
look
said,
better than me.
Okay, so if I said relevant, please.
no, you did the right thing. I said the
Yeah,
wrong thing. It's
ignore.
relevant.
Relative. Claire.
Relative.
Yeah.
Okay, mix up.
It's what's happening to you.
It's relative.
And pain is such a crazy one because it's so, you have to have this real militant mind to be able to separate to some extent, which you can't because it's everywhere and it's always happening, to be able to cope and do it every day, I can imagine.
It's true.
And the fact that it's in your head and all down your body, you can't really escape that. You know what I mean?
No, you can't. Like it, yeah.
And I think that's why with my, feeling my own pain when I first met you and heard your story, it just like always stuck with me because it was such a hard time for me. But even though it was in my back, there's a part of you that can almost dissociate and come up here. But this is literally like in your brain.
This is like, this is like intense, like I cannot describe, like I can't describe it. And because I'm not sitting here and clutching at my head or just writhing in agony, it's also hard for me then, isn't it hard for people to understand that? Because because I'm not doing those.
I think
Yeah.
so, because I see you all the time, and my friend, we talk about this
Yeah,
all the time.
yeah. We
and
haven't-
I
yeah.
be kind of pain-wise, I know,
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I know intelligently, I know you're going through all the pain all the time.
Yeah.
And I know that, and I'm aware of it, and I call you what
Yeah.
numbers I do.
Yeah.
I do this.
Yeah,
I
describe
know,
that, because I think that's,
Oh yeah,
that's a really
we
interesting
have a thing.
thing.
Anyone have a thing
Yeah.
where I ask her,
Yeah.
we're chatting about life. I say, what
Yeah.
number are you today?
From 1
And the
to
numbers
10.
are how
I like
1 to
that.
10 in terms of pain levels. What number is today? And you say, I'm a 10 today, or I'm a 9 today. I said, oh shit, you're going to go to the hospital. That's so bad.
Yeah.
9's bad.
Yeah.
Or if it's 2, it's a great day. 2's a great day.
Yeah.
As a friend, to have that scale to check in with, so they're not constantly asking about it, but just checking in with you.
Yeah,
Just checking
where
in.
you are.
What's your number?
It's
It's
respectful.
awesome. I
You
love
might say
that.
what's your
Yeah.
number. And I know I'm thinking about your pain a lot, and I'm
Yeah.
aware of it, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to give you my strength for it.
Yeah.
But I don't. And otherwise, how would the people ask?
Yeah.
Does your family, and that point, I'm a hand talker.
No, go crazy. Get those hands up in here, Claire. It's who you
I know,
are.
it
You're
is.
a wog.
I'm a wog.
You're a,
You can say it. I can't say it. You can say it.
No, you're a wog with
a wog with
L
hands.
plates on.
For context, Lena is Italian, so
Oh,
she can say
yeah,
that.
Thank you.
Italian born, everybody. Yeah, I
can't say it.
wog.
Yeah, I just a hand
Thank you,
talker.
Claudia, because that's good
Got
context.
you.
But the hand, I was just, but now
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about
Get your hands going, girl. I like
Yeah,
it.
What was I
yeah.
gonna say?
No, unfold.
I was
Unfold.
going to say something.
Yeah, how you asked me about the numbers, and I
Yes,
think
the numbers.
it's brilliant. And so we can start our
family.
conversation.
Family.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, no,
That's what you said, family.
Yes.
Family.
See,
no,
I'd forgotten.
yes, good
I'd forgotten too, but boom, you're
I was
on.
asked, how's your, I know the answer is, how's your family deal with your pain issues? How do they cope? What do they talk to you about it? How do they make you feel about it?
Oh, okay. So, they love me dearly. They're always looking out for me. My daughter especially, she's my little shadow.
I love that.
We recently had a big trip, European trip, the 4 of us, husband and 2 kids. Kids aged 28 and 25, but they're
kids
still my
Still
kids.
babies.
Yeah. And because of my MS and because of, my balance, I have balance issues and I forget, they were terrified and they would just check in every single time when they weren't with me.
That's
and,
nice. That's
yeah,
nice.
because of all the things that could go wrong easily with me. And I've also been having a lot of falls. I had one just a week before I came. If anyone knows Melbourne, they'll know Chapel Street. I went sprawling on Chapel Street. Oh,
Not
I don't know what
embarrassing at all. No,
happened.
not embarrassing at all. Please, yeah.
happens. And thankfully I was with a friend, so that
good.
helped a bit. Certainly helped because she helped me up. But I have fallen before on my own, and it's really nice. People do, usually mature age people. I don't want to say
Yes.
older people.
Good
I think
word.
young people are too scared because I have had a lot of falls publicly.
You've got the consensus.
Oh
Yes.
my God. But that, and also a lot of people also think I'm drunk.
I hate that.
They think I'm drunk when it's happened evening.
Yes. Eating times I think you're drunk.
And I just want
hate that
to,
so much.
I just want to, after I've sort of regained my composure, because I usually need a couple of minutes to just,
breathe.
okay, breathe. Because you do get a shock, especially when you fall as a mature age person.
Well said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do get a shock. Oh
is,
my
it's
God.
a
You
shock.
don't just bounce up like a kid.
Kids, yes.
And I just sit there and just, but I know there's, depending on the time of night that it happens, people think I am drunk. It's insulting.
Oh, and it'd be so hard not to want to snap back at people like that, you know?
Yeah. You know that 1,000 things? This is one of the 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And counting.
That's it, 1001.
Yeah.
One.
So, my family are, sometimes I think what's the word for, care too much.
Overcareful?
Yeah, they're a bit
Overcaring.
overprotective,
Yes,
maybe.
yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Right.
come on, yes.
Let
So
me
I do get
breathe,
that as
yes.
well, but, swings and roundabouts, I guess.
Yes. True.
But so
Another thing I wanted to talk about, just interrupting everyone. One thing I wanted to mention or talk about, because someone, a listener asked this. A listener asked about the history of MS. And I don't know, we don't know much about it. So if anyone wants to tell us the history, we'd like to find out. But also, you found out it came from the Vikings.
Yeah, the Vikings. The
Wow.
Vikings introduced it to Europe. Yeah,
What?
look it up. It's true.
I know, how annoying is that?
Yeah.
How annoying is that?
And
Yeah.
so, okay, that then makes sense to me because remember you and I had a conversation. Okay, the Vikings introduced it, but how did
Vikings
Vikings
get it.
came to Australia?
Not to Australia, no.
Because how did Aussies,
But
And
they
I
gave
just
it to Europe.
exactly.
Europe. So European
The
is like a
English,
link.
yes. The
English, mine
Europeans.
came from England, I reckon. Or maybe Sweden, I don't know. Somewhere,
Or just
but
the early days of
early
it.
days. In those days, it was from the cold areas. Ironically, it's cold.
Yes, the
Bizarre.
Vikings, yes.
But apparently MS is almost unheard of in the equators.
Yes.
Wow,
yes.
really?
It's too hot. MS.
yeah,
It's bizarre, isn't
yeah.
it? So it's all in
And the
core areas.
Asians as well.
Yeah, I don't get either.
Asians, very
Don't get
few
it.
Asians.
Yeah.
I wonder
get-
what that is.
yeah.
Like, especially coming back to the climate, you know, I
Yes.
wonder what is the. Because I remember we've
Yeah.
done like some research on MS together,
Yeah.
and they were talking about how it can be like a pie chart, and it was
Yeah.
like there's all these factors in what,
What
Yeah.
can bring it on?
Yeah.
What causes it?
and I
Yeah.
wonder where the temperature comes
I
comes
think
into
climate
Needs something to do with it.
is a big factor.
that. And stress, that's the major
Stress
one, is that
massive.
right?
Stress, I think stress is the overriding one, I believe.
Yeah.
Maybe in my mind, I think that Dr.
Yeah.
Claire here, not doctor, I'm just joking now, but Dr. Claire said if you have a lot of stress in your life, if you had a propensity to have MS, it might be on. Maybe it was underlying your brain had it
Okay.
already there.
Okay, yes.
But it wasn't
Okay.
hadn't read its head yet.
Okay, yes.
So the stress that's the bad for me.
Okay.
The term for me it was actually I was happily going along my life and then lots of stress and it happened. So maybe it was always bubbling along quietly underneath the sea.
So having these factors within your genetics or with whatever, and
Yeah.
saying that potentially without that stress factor, you may
Wouldn't
have
happen.
never.
I think it too. I reckon if I had not moved to England and worked at banks I worked at and did those very stressful jobs and travel and things, I reckon I would have got MS. But then, it's
Who knows?
Who knows? So maybe in 100 years, 10 years' time, 10 years, 20, 30, 50 years, I'd love to figure out what it is.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
not yet.
I just remembered what I think some of the listeners will think is an interesting story
Yeah.
because we're talking about, how it came. And it reminded me of when I was first diagnosed with MS. You may remember because I've told you,
Yeah.
or maybe when I start talking about it, it'll come to you. But I think it's interesting. So I was a young mother. So I had a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. And I woke up one morning and I had double vision and this headache across my forehead that like nothing I've had since. I'm talking, I thought I was dying of a brain tumour. Anyway, so that's how it started, and I was breastfeeding, and so I was unable to look after, my husband was still working, unable to look after myself. So fortunate for me, went to mum's, had a sister, they were looking after me. And so after about 2 or 3 days when this was still happening, I went to my sister drove me to the GP. I go there and I say, this massive headache and double vision, da-di-da-di-da. So the GP says, okay, I'm going to refer you to a psychiatrist, okay?
See,
He
there you
said,
go.
yeah, did the referral.
Isn't that always the way?
Oh, my God. Now, I'm a smart lady, but that time I was just so sick that I was like, I'm not even going to argue. Just send me, get me fixed, right?
And you put a lot of trust in them,
Totally.
which is scary.
Oh, my God. My sister drove me to the neurologist because I couldn't drive. I sit down and he goes, so,
No, to the shrink, not the neurologist, to a psychiatrist.
Psychiatrist, yeah. Sit down and he says, so, why are you here? How can I help? And I said, well, I'm here because my GP says I should see you. I've got this headache and double vision. And he just stopped in his tracks and he said, you shouldn't be seeing me. You should be seeing a neurologist.
Oh, good shrink. That's good.
So then I was like, okay, that sounds a lot like it. So anyway, I went and saw a neurologist, did an MRI, and he said to me, well, this is interesting because you have had an episode of sclerosis. You don't have multiple sclerosis. I know. He goes, you've only had this one episode. And the best advice, and I'm so glad I listened to him because he said to me, don't leave here and go looking up MS and looking at brochures and da-di-da-di-da,
He sounds like a good doctor.
computer. Just forget it because it may never happen again.
Oh, wow.
So is an episode of sclerosis the attack of the brain, the inflammation in the brain?
It's just whatever symptom happens. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's what you were feeling there, would you say?
Well, no, it was those symptoms. It was the symptoms.
Yeah.
The double vision and the head thing. And so anyway, I listened to him, and you know what? Then, because I have relapsing remitting MS, which neurologists will think I'm a bit dumb like this, but I've put MS into good MS and bad MS. The good MS is the one relapsing remitting. You get sick, then you get better. I have what I call the good MS. Okay? And I forgot what I was going to say.
So about your diagnosis when you went to your GP and you went to the
Oh, that's right. Yes, I didn't look up MS. Right.
Good. Yes.
I didn't, and about 6 years later.
6
Oh my
years.
God! Right.
Wow.
My son, who was about 4 at the time, or thereabouts, whatever, can't remember, he was young, wanted to go on this ride, like a ride,
Scary
Like a
ride.
roller coaster?
Yeah, well, okay, not roller coaster, but it was this ride that you sat down and it swung you violently from side to side. And he was only little, and I was scared for him, so I said, I'll go on the ride with you.
Oh, no.
So we go on this ride, okay? I get off this ride and I am instantly sick. Not sick as in instantly, like loss of balance, disorientated. I'm like,
Oh, my
whoa.
God, Lena.
The ride. The ride really, Anyway, we went back home and I am feeling so sick with this loss
Like
of
car sick?
balance.
No?
Nausea, loss of balance, like intensely sick that, honey, let's go home because I think I need to go to hospital. It was
Wow,
that's how
that's
bad.
sick.
I knew I
Okay.
was, but I didn't know what it was.
Okay.
Go to the hospital. They see me straight away. They do an MRI. Oh my God! Guess what?
MS.
You have had another episode of sclerosis.
Oh wow.
So had you not even really thought about it much since then?
I didn't know all this. Okay.
Nothing.
And so how did the ride bring it on?
Now that is my question.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And that's
I do
like
not know.
scary.
Very.
Yeah. It's like a little bit of vertigo. It's got
Yeah,
vertigo.
little bit of
attack.
it, yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Did it feel like vertigo?
Yes.
It
Yes.
just makes you so sarcastic. You just feel so.
Oh,
awful.
just yeah. So that's how I was diagnosed, and I think that's an
I'm like,
interesting
was it that
story.
pirate ride?
No,
That
no.
kills me. Can't do
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I couldn't do
Oh.
that.
And they
go upside
My
down,
stomach
oh.
comes out in that ride.
Yeah, that
I
one pirate
can't do
ride.
it.
Because it's like sea. It's like a boat.
Yeah, I know it.
And they hold you upside.
So
Did you go on it?
once? Never again. Never again.
You guys are good mums.
Yeah,
Like
yes,
it.
exactly.
You know, you've just
right.
been a good mum.
Exactly, but that was the last of
Never
my good
again.
mum take you on a ride.
Totally.
Right. I'm not a
Yeah.
ride person at all now.
Yeah.
Not even like I don't even do like so it's I'm straightforward, just side rides. Don't do the loud.
Yeah,
They
no.
scare me too.
No, yeah,
My brain stays
yeah.
up there and I come down and I think, oh, I can't think now.
Yeah.
Don't do that at all.
Yeah,
Have you had any more relapses since then?
yeah, quite a few, yeah. And most of them have been balance related. I have used a walking stick because one of my legs has gone numb.
Is that from the pain?
I don't know.
Is it the right leg?
Yeah, the right.
yeah.
The interesting thing is, a lot of my stuff with my MS has been on the right side, and I find that very bizarre.
Are you right-handed?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
There you go.
Because I'm the same.
I remembered another pain I had that I think we should talk about because it's almost deathly. It's called trigeminal neuralgia. Have you ever
Good
heard
Lord.
of that?
No. Say it again.
Trigeminal
Trigeminal
neuralgia.
Okay, yeah.
Right? On my face. It's commonly on your face.
Oh, wow.
And this is, I'd already been diagnosed with MS. Oh, this is really interesting, actually. Oh, because I'm just wondering now, I think when I got that trigeminal neuralgia, I don't think my neuropathic pain had started.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
So this was the first bout of pain that you'd experienced.
Yes. And
really?
if anyone of your listeners have it, they will know it's extreme beyond anything. It's almost one of the worst pains you can ever have, and it's usually on the right side of the face. And it was like just my face was eaten away. It was excruciating. It was so bad that I had to have the steroid treatment in hospital to make it go away. Oh my God.
And was it all the nerves in your face?
Yeah,
Is that?
just so bad. Like, oh God, yeah.
Wow.
And one of the things I do want to talk about is the invisibleness, because even with me, with my neuropathic pain, sometimes it's good that's invisible because I just don't want people to know. And I have to say, you mentioned good mums. Wow, you reminded me something, Claudia. I had neuropathic pain and I had my kids, but I pretended I didn't have it because I didn't want them to be scared. And so I would just
heartbreaking.
hide it, and that's how I think I've learned to deal with it. Because I
kids.
I didn't want them to know that their mum was so sick.
The kind of the mix. My kids, I didn't have pain though. I had
You're the
everything else
opposite.
I had. And so my things were more obvious, I guess, because I fall over and
Yes,
things. My
yes.
kids weren't shielded from that at all. They
Yeah.
knew pretty much straight away Mum was sick.
Mm.
But I still have the theory that my kids are more, I believe, more empathetic than most because they've had a mum sick their whole life. So I just think this is how my mum needs help, and I'll look on number two mostly, but no, they all help. All three kids help. Number two does more, but they all help, and they all know mum can't do things. They never they don't volunteer me to do bake sales. They never volunteer me for anything because they can't do things.
Yeah.
But they're very. I think they're probably going to be. I hope better husbands than others because they're more thoughtful than the kids are.
Yeah.
Slightly biased, but I think so. Yes.
My kids are very protective of me. That's a good reminder.
That's nice.
Very protective because and they also do know. I guess with mine, like they know when I say to them, and I can't get out of bed. They know. Okay, she's really sick.
She's in bed.
And they
days.
just
They don't bug you.
yeah,
That's
very
that's
protective,
very kind.
and you need that.
You do.
See, this is very interesting. So I took Lyrica. For anyone that knows it, 150 milligrams. That's a high dose. Last night. And I got up this morning and I took 75 milligrams. But you see, sitting here and we've been talking about it, I need one now. Like that's how I need one now.
And I think that is the thing with pain, how you mentioned with the kids, like you would hide it so they didn't know. And there is this, with pain, you kind of got to chin and bear it and push it into its box and keep it away so your brain doesn't fixate on it, because it's as much as your body's feeling it, it's coming from your brain, especially with your nerves. So it's this, like, you have to, like, militant again, like I say, you feel like you have to be like an army soldier because you've got to be able to cope with it but not focus on it too much and deal with it but not give it, like, feed it and let it rule you. It's just this hectic mind game, you know?
Mind game. Good word to mind games. You've got to focus on it but not focus on it.
And that's why a lot of time with pain, they send you to the shrink straight away. That's what happened to me. Oh, you probably will deal with this forever and you have to go to the psychologist and here's a bunch of painkillers and all these things, because it's probably just coming from your brain as much as it's in your back. And it's so disorientating.
It's so bad.
Yeah, and scary to be like, what do you mean this is something I have to deal with forever?
My entire life.
And the other thing is you don't know the end date. Oh, my God.
That's the thing, is too long, isn't it?
Like,
there's no end, maybe.
Like anything you get, but even when I had the trigeminal neuralgia, I remember at the time thinking, okay, if this goes on for much longer, I can't live. Like, I don't want to live. That's how bad. And so what I'm trying to say is the whole thing of any symptoms you get from MS, I lost my taste. I lost my taste.
And you're an Italian woman.
I know.
That is so not fair.
This was pre-COVID.
Oh, pre-COVID. Oh, sorry.
I lost my taste for 3 months pre-COVID. Right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
And you are right. Oh, my God.
You're Italian.
So not fair.
Everything.
And at the time, I remember thinking, oh, my God, is this forever? And it's the uncertainty of knowing whether it's forever or you're going to get it back.
Yeah.
It lasted for about 3 months and I got it back.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
However,
But COVID.
I had got COVID.
What did
Lena
you
had really
know?
bad COVID. Really bad.
Yeah. I had COVID twice.
Oh, no.
I was hospitalised twice.
You
second
you
time,
lung things.
I had a rare lung infection. So and I got pneumonia, so I'm really prone to pneumonia. Oh, my God. All right, so I briefly mentioned that 6-week holiday that we had.
Yes.
Okay. I had the time of my life, but I was so sick during that holiday. I coughed the entire time.
No.
And at night it would be really bad. Anyway, got home, still coughing, and that night something happened inside. Something almost broke inside. I was like, oh, my God. And I said to my husband, still coughing, I said, take me to hospital tomorrow morning because something's happened. Go to hospital. You've got pneumonia and a collapsed lung.
Wow.
And to me, like these things,
it's not
they
fair.
happen because my immune system is fucked. And
Broken. For good.
no, fucked. I don't care. It's not broken.
I mean, it's fucked, yes.
Yeah. When you sit and think about it, don't you think?
Don't think. I don't sit and think about how bad things are. I just in a way, so stick your head in the sand, don't think about it.
I know,
It's
but
too awful.
sometimes you need to.
I know, reality, I know. Just,
When we need to vent as well.
we're having a vent. This is venting. This is a
So
venting
good while you
session.
guys have each other as well.
We
And
vent
it's,
to each other
yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
and I think
It's
that
healthy.
this whole episode has been, it's that fine line between, like, you got to vent about it because
Yeah.
it's
It can be
awful
shocking.
and
Yeah.
unfair. And then coming back to, though, you are these fucking warriors and
Yeah.
you carry on and you can't live in that, but you've got to talk about it. It's a fine line with like coping with the pain, living with it and not letting it rule you, but also acknowledging
and
it.
not changing,
Yeah.
not changing you, not making you like a bitter old bitch.
Yeah.
Actually just trying to go forward, being a good person still, but covering these
Let
shit at the
some
same time.
steam come out so then you can carry on.
Vent.
But we don't want sympathy.
We don't. We want
Oh my
understanding.
God, yeah.
Understanding.
Yeah.
It's all we want. Not
Yeah.
sympathy.
No
also,
pity.
And also pity. Bugger pity.
Bugger pity,
Pity's the
damn
worst.
straight.
That's
Yeah.
just-
And pity puts you in self-loathing and then you live in the why me and then people pity you and then you go, it's kind of like that feeds it. So you stay in that, everyone feels so bad for me as I'm so sick or I'm in so much pain or all this stuff and then you live in that. So it's, it's good that you're saying you don't want pity. You want understanding. Understand that what you go through every day is a challenge, but you still keep putting those feet forward.
Yeah, you have to.
Live
Otherwise you
life.
give up.
Live life, right?
Live life, enjoy life.
And it's something I wanted to ask you, Lena, where and how, if it ever does happen, do you find relief from your pain? What do you have those keys that help you find relief that you might be able to share that would help another?
Yeah, sadly, really sadly, it's Lyrica.
Lyrica.
And the higher the dose, the less the pain. But then I'm I'm a zombie. I'm a zombie and I can't function. I can't drive. I can't cook. I can't do anything. And that's the sad thing, isn't it?
is.
To have relief, you've got to take a hit elsewhere in your life.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not fair.
And that's why I can't take Lyrica that dose every day because that's just, I don't want to live like that. No. So I take less of it to make it manageable and I just keep distracted.
Yeah.
I
Do you
just
have...
grab
But you
it.
do nice things. But then that thought, do you search for the joy in life? Does joy make you feel less
absolutely.
painful? I'm just curious. I mean,
yes.
but like they say, run the horses.
Yes.
When you're riding a horse, can you almost forget about the pain a little bit? Does that happen like that? Not my kid.
Well, yes, because I'm distracted. Absolutely.
Okay, so you do things that make you joyful.
Oh, yes.
That's good.
Like, you know how they say, smell the roses, and people go, smell right.
Yeah, it's
But
true.
I do.
Yes.
I do.
You've got to.
Yeah. Where I live at home, I'm in an apartment, ground floor, and outside my window, there's plants. I don't know if you know plants, but Daphne Adora. They've got really cute leaves. When the wind blows, these leaves, and I say they're dancing.
I like
And I can see them from my bed. And I
That's
look out the
joy.
window, and I
That's
say,
so pretty.
Sab, they're dancing. And the gardener wanted to cut the thing back.
bugger off. No.
And I'll never forget, I was so happy.
Ready for a fist fight.
Absolutely. But I was really happy one day, the gardener came and I was doing whatever. And Sab was talking to the gardener, and this tree.
Husband.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
You're
Sab's your
supposed to
husband.
know.
I know. I should have done my research.
Sexy Sab, but that's just to me.
Yeah.
And the gardener said, "Oh, do you want me to prune those back? Because they really do come, And Sab's like, "Oh no, they're Lena's dancing leaves."
Oh, he gets
Oh,
it.
he gets it, and he knows.
That's nice. That's
so.
nice.
Yes, don't you see the joy in
I
the-
see the joy in life. I look at things that smell nice.
You go collect the eggs.
I go collect the eggs every morning.
And she talks to the
I talk to the chickens. So many chickens.
Yeah,
like,
that's
And tell
beautiful.
everyone what are the names of the chickens, Claire?
They're all called Claire.
They're all called Claire.
There's 6 of them. My eyes are
That's
damaged.
hilarious.
My eyes are also I
can't tell the
I can't do it. That's the same to me. And there is slight differences.
So you don't
but I can't
forget.
tell.
They're all
That's
called Claire.
actually Claire. That's actually very clever.
I know.
There's 6 Claires.
You didn't
And
tell
I
me
say
that.
Claire, and she runs. One Claire runs
Love
away.
it. Yeah.
And when I've changed one girl now, it'd be called Jane, my sister. She runs away a bit.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you run away, Jane, come back here. You run away a bit. So Claire's a bit lost as well.
Okay.
Because I'm lost
Okay.
all the time too. My eyes are so
Yeah,
bad.
Jane keeps getting out.
Jane gets out.
Yeah, I
and
saw it
Claire's
this morning. I
lost,
put it
and
back
Jane
in.
gets out. Yeah, Jane gets out and Claire is lost. She's like, lost in the woods.
Yeah. Love it.
That's
Love
my
it.
thought there. Yes.
Love it.
So we talked about pain. We talked about
Yeah. Invisible.
visible symptoms. Is just that's kind
Yeah.
of that's the cruelty of MS is that no one knows what's going on, and so the average punch in the street walks up and goes, "You look fine." And but just so you know, people listening, someone says you look fine. It's probably the most annoying thing to be told because actually we're not fine. We're just coping, and you would know we're in pain, but we're just getting on with things, and you don't give us a shit. You don't care how it's a hard life, and you don't make out no big deal. One of the things I read about MS is that to look normal takes so much energy. Because we're trying to be normal, and you go to life isn't normal for you. And you say, you look so well. So I'm trying to stay well to not be crying in the corner. But it's taking so much energy to be this well. Give me to pity. just give me some understanding, please. Just be my friend and be nice to me. I think too.
I've got another quick example if we're short for time.
I'm going to keep going.
Yeah.
Okay, so
You got it.
yeah, I have.
Okay.
So because I've had problems with my legs sometimes, there's been times I've had a walking stick, and there's been times that I've just been so sick that I drive. I don't drive sick. Oh my God, I don't drive sick. I don't want anyone to think drive sick. But no, I've been very, very unwell, and I've driven my car and I've parked in a disabled spot because I have a disabled sticker. I rarely use it. I only use it when I need to, when I'm really sick. This one day, really sick, I park in a disabled thing. I get out of my car. I didn't have a stick. It was just get out of my car. And this woman walks past me, mature woman, and she goes to me, now you know where you've parked, haven't you?
Oh,
How dare she?
I know. I agree. The teachers know about invisible symptoms. Invisible symptoms.
Yeah, and I just looked at her and I said, you just don't know my life.
Oh,
Well, so you
Lena,
could
that
answer
is
that
well
Walked away
said.
because I didn't want to have a fight. I didn't have the energy to have a fight because I was
sick.
I was very sick, but that's a good example of,
Yeah.
and in her defence,
She wouldn't know anything's wrong with you.
but I was not happy with the way she could have said what she
smugness.
said.
And she was approaching you for a fight.
Yeah.
People approach
Yeah.
you with that
Yeah.
energy for,
Yeah.
that, you
Yeah.
know, they don't want to
Negative energy.
understand. Will you
Yeah. How you
actually
feel.
explain to me, are you unwell?
Yeah.
They want to have a go. And
Yes.
Have go you.
Yeah.
you met that with the most perfect response.
Well,
You don't know.
Because you can explain to people and this and that and they won't go. They'll go and they'll fight you to say you don't know.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Bad traits, the human trait's bad there because I think people, I thought, but then occasionally in that thought, most people are really nice though. Occasionally
Yeah.
people just come out of the woods, the average person's really nice.
Yeah.
And understanding, but there's some are not.
There's a few bad seeds out
Bad
there.
seeds make they kind of give bad name to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of yeah.
And I can give another example as
Yes.
well. Okay, this is Claire related. I was in Claire's house and there was a stair. I was looking after the house and I fell down. I didn't fall down the stairs, but I thought I was at the last step, took a ginormous step, and this was in Byron.
Was it a beachcomber?
Yeah, it was. Yes,
Yeah, those goddamn stairs.
Yeah.
They're long stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I smashed my right ankle in two places and the other one.
Both legs.
No.
Yeah.
I remember you telling
On
me.
holiday in Byron Bay. Anyway,
Both legs.
so I ended up with a cast on one leg and a boot on the other. Now, I was very clearly
Disabled.
Yes.
Yes.
And the amount of people that looked out for me, offered to help me, were compassionate, were, understanding.
Yeah, what was that like, that experience?
Well, see, to me,
Do it give you faith in humankind? People are kind.
you know how they talk about the glass half full and the glass empty? I'm the glass overflowing.
You are.
Yes,
you
So
are.
sister.
I think everyone's nice.
I don't. There you
Yeah,
go.
okay. All right.
Thank you.
Well, I'll have to train you then.
Yeah, okay, darling. Yes.
And so when that happened, I was very much like, oh, that's really nice of them. But it also made me realise, and after I no longer had them, and then it was just me and my healthy-looking body with my neuropathic pain, I was like, you see, they were good to me when they saw what I had, when it was visible, but now it's invisible and
Don't give a shit.
don't give a shit.
It's so true.
Yeah.
It's hard to bear that though. It's hard to see how people. So maybe they sign up with like a T-shirt saying, "I have MS. I'm in pain. I have MS. I've forgotten things today, whatever it is." But we don't do that. We just quietly in the corner.
No, it doesn't define me. No.
How about you? Yeah.
It's the monster that,
the monster.
yeah,
The monster friends.
I
yes.
have it, but
It's part of us.
Yeah.
It's not us.
we
I'm not
still have a
MS.
life to live.
We do. As I say, I have MS. I'm not MS. I have it.
Exactly, Claire.
Or even MS doesn't have me.
yes.
I like that thing.
Yes.
I have MS.
and that's so
because
true.
MS does not have me.
That's powerful to think like that,
That's
isn't it?
my little warrior thing up in there. Yes, it's good.
It's nice to have those phrases where you feel like you can take back your power a bit.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Like, I just can feel for listeners knowing, like, they're keys that people can take you know, if they're newly diagnosed or, you know, it's just giving people like the venting and the understanding, and they would be going, oh my God, me too. But then the keys of how you get through.
And the hope.
And the hope.
The hope.
There's always hope.
Knowing that you can live a great life.
You can.
Even with your MS.
MS.
We have, and we do.
Like, when we were diagnosed back many years ago, it was worse because there wasn't as much treatment.
Yes.
But now, diagnosed now, I've met some people so far diagnosed right now, and their life ahead is going to be great. They're going to be just fine. Yeah. But it sucks getting MS, but it's treatable now in a way that you're going to be okay. So I think that the fear, I believe, has gone. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's gone.
Well, probably not so much for newly diagnosed. I think newly diagnosed is still terrified.
Terrifying.
That initial thing.
Well, but I want them to see things, listen to us, and feel actually it's not so scary now.
That's the whole point of your podcast,
Yes,
my
because
darling.
it's not a nice thing to learn. It's not great. It could be a whole lot better. But equally, it's not the end of the world. You'll be okay. Just take your drugs, take your medication, and be good about it. Live a good life. And just be kind to yourself. I said in my podcast, I said, be kind to your friends because you need them. Make sure you be a good friend. And just be look after yourself health-wise. Make sure you stay strong. For any falls you might have, stay strong. And also, you'll be okay. Just calm down and you'll be okay.
For sure.
That's
I've had amazing things happen to me, and
because of
they
MS?
wouldn't have happened because of MS.
I was going to ask this.
Yeah.
What is it? What has MS brought to you? Or what happened to you because of MS?
I was just thinking that. Or something you've done that you maybe wouldn't have done
otherwise.
I've got so many of those. But Claire, have you? What's happened to me? What's happened in your life that wouldn't have happened if not for MS?
MS wouldn't have. Well, yeah. I was in England working in a job, but it was a hard job, and I would have probably stayed in England. So I'm here because of MS, really, in a way. I'm probably here
after MS.
After I was diagnosed, sorry.
Yeah.
After I was diagnosed, what happened? Oh, wow, it's a big question. What's happened after MS? I've changed everything. I've changed the way I live because I think I'm far more real. I hope I am. I'm more in touch with my feelings, I think. I'm less, well, now horses all the time. The horses are around my life all the time, which I love that part. And I think I hope I'm more understanding. I think probably I was a bit of I wasn't a bitch. I was probably more.
You appreciate life
Thank
more.
you, well said. No,
and especially when you're feeling okay.
When I feel okay, I feel like I'm kind of, the world's, it's good. And beforehand, not so before. I was actually not really focusing on anything myself.
Yeah, it's a shitty way to learn it.
Yeah, it's a tough lesson, but I learned it and I feel like a better person.
It's a rude lesson.
Yeah.
So someone said to me once at the very beginning, names remain not spoken, but people said to me, Claire, it made you a better person. And I initially took that as I was pissed off, but in hindsight, that person was right. Wow. It did make me a better person. So that person, I appreciate that word, that comment. At the time I did not, but now I see it, that she was right.
Good.
So she.
Good.
Yeah. So that's my thought there.
Okay.
And what about yourself, Lena?
We've got all day. Listeners, make a cup of tea.
What's the best thing?
The best. Oh, God. Look, probably the most surreal one was, so I was in the newspaper, picture of me in the newspaper.
Oh.
I know.
For what? Why?
Oh, why did you have to ask that? Because I didn't want to say why. I just wanted to lead to the story.
Oh,
okay. Anyway.
Yeah.
I was awarded an Order of Australia medal.
Your awesome medal.
Snaps for Lena.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
So there was a picture of me, and usually people that get those are like 100 years old.
Not you, sister.
I was like about 48 or something.
You're a spring chicken.
Yeah, yes. I was younger than so that's why I was in the paper.
Okay.
So I'm at school pickup. My phone rings. Is that Lena Morocco, a lady? Yes, it is. This is so-and-so. I'm a producer of Neighbours TV show. Yes. Go, right.
That's right.
Yes. And they go, and she goes, we'd like to offer you a guest appearance at in the show. And I was like,
Australian icon right here.
Oh my God. And I'm like, I've got 3 sisters. It's not one of them because I don't recognise your voice playing a joke on me. So, oh my God, you must be real. Okay. Anyway, she goes, I'll be in touch in the next week or so. And I was like, oh my God.
Neighbours called you.
Neighbours called me.
Neighbours called, not the other way around.
Oh
Neighbours called you.
And, oh my God, and they said, we want you to just appear as Lena Morocco. And I was like, oh my God. So anyway, I was in it. You know, I was in it for like a heartbeat.
Still though, that's so
Oh my
special.
God. So I was Lena Morocco. And if anyone, did you used to watch Neighbours?
I did watch a bit of Neighbours with Mum back in the day.
All right. So did you ever remember that Susan had MS?
Yes, we have spoken of that.
Yeah. And that's a great thing because it's all about awareness. So they sort of had me doing a few lines with Susan. And in the thing, Susan actually says, oh, so darling, this is Lena Morocco, my friend. I met her recently. She's just recently, done an MS ball.
Which is true.
Which is true, yes. Anyway, that was probably the most amazing, surreal thing that could ever happen to anyone, really.
Yeah.
And would it have happened if
Without
not for
MS? No,
it would not. I tell you, go on, no, please.
I would love to touch on, because me and Claire have spoken about this and I just remembered, you've raised millions, is that right, for MS?
1.5,
Can you please talk about that to us and how you've done that and how you've been such a pillar in the community?
Oh, yeah, I don't know about pillar in the
Gas
community.
yourself up, come on.
Pick it up, do it.
Okay, the thing is that I started fundraising. I started raising money when I was 25, Royal Children's Hospital.
Before MS.
Before MS, before anything. Fundraising for the kids. So collecting cans at the intersection, did that with a bunch of friends 3 or 4 years, loved it. And then one of my friends said, my friend's organising a Greek dinner dance. They'll donate money to the kids. Do you want to help them? Yeah, sure. So I helped these Greeks, these wogs, organise this event.
Yes.
No, that's right. And they organised, I think, $18,000. And this is like 30 years ago. There was like loads of money, right? Anyway, I loved being a part of that. But there were certain things they did that I didn't like. And so something in my head said, well,
the organiser.
Yeah, if you think you can do better, organise your own.
Cool.
Like, okay, let's do this. So I created Charity Works for Kids. This charity fundraising for children for the Royal Children's Hospital. Got my gang together. We did our first dinner dance, we called them, and we raised like $25,000. Like, no, sorry, $35,000.
Incredible.
That was such lots of money. Anyway, and then we did another one and another one. I think we did about 4, and every year we would raise a bit more. And I just loved it. I loved all the fun. Ask me after, because I'm going to forget about some of the really weird prizes that we offered.
Okay, weird prizes.
Yeah. Good prizes. Anyway, so God, I don't want to talk all day. I'm so sorry. I'm just talking.
No, we're loving it. This is so great. Yeah.
Hang on, don't do it.
Okay. I guess the moral of the story, listeners, please keep please remember that this story will take you to when I was doing stuff with MS, which means you can still do stuff. So anyway, very quickly, did about 3 or 4, raised lots of money. Then I was diagnosed with MS. So then I said to my team, okay, I've now been diagnosed with MS. If you don't mind, I now want to fundraise for MS.
Pivot. Good word.
Pivot. Love the pivot word.
Love the pivot word. That's
I
awesome
said,
word.
if you guys want to, do your own thing, go ahead. But if you want to, right? Anyway, they said, no, that's fine. We'll fundraise
they
for
backed
MS.
you.
So that's when the MS fundraising started. And we just got bigger and better each year.
Wow.
Oh, that's right. That's when another MS Impact, I said to them, I can't do this every year, but we can do it every 2 years. Perfect. So the MS balls became every 2 years. And, $1.5 million later, amazing. So we've taken a break the last few years, but there's something inside me sort of going, you've still got it in you, do something.
Is there any information you can share for people that might be interested, in attending the next one that you may do, or...
Oh, Claudia, that's a really good question.
Website, socials, anything like that?
No, but they
Socials.
can go through Claire. They can
Go through me.
Go through Claire. And when
Go through Claire.
Yeah. And when I do end up, really something happening, I will also be telling Claire, and she can tell all her people.
So I went to each ball, like when I was in the country, I went to all the balls I could go at your request.
That's
I went
right.
to all the balls I could.
Yeah,
It was awesome.
it was amazing.
They're a big deal. They're big hoopla.
Yeah, no, they were pretty big. Like our biggest, we had like 1,000 people.
Wow.
Massive, yeah.
That's so awesome, having fun and raising money for a good cause, you know?
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
close to
Yeah.
your heart.
Yes.
And again, just being able to do stuff despite the MS. And that probably,
Despite
I got more out of that than, you know, the actual money. And the money always went to the scientists to help find a cure. That was sort of the
Incredible.
driver. But I have to tell you just two very quick prizes.
Yes, you
and
remembered. I
events.
didn't even need to remind you.
Yeah,
Because I'm so excited about
We'll end
them.
it with a bang.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. A bang is one of the weird prizes we had was $20,000 of concrete.
For my dad, that's a good gift.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
People like that, yeah.
And we were like, we're going to keep an eye on the buyer because whoever buys it, we need to know if they ever ask our shoe sizes.
It's
we
all
don't,
over.
We don't
Yeah.
give it. Yeah. So everyone was
scary.
like, you know, which charity events have ever, you know, auctioned? That's it. Auctioned off, blah blah blah. Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've had a bottle of Grange signed by all the living prime ministers.
That's the
pretty
best
awesome.
one.
Amazing.
Claire, I feel like you would like that.
Oh,
you like politics here?
absolutely, yeah.
Yes, it would.
And they sold for like ridiculous amount of money, but it was all a good cause. We also did one Grange signed by all the Australian Oscar winners.
Oh, that's a good
Oh my
one.
God, that was so cool. Like and we did it. No one had to fly overseas, but we did it. But going back to the Prime Minister's one, I have to share a story because something tells me that Paul Keating will not be listening to this podcast.
Why?
I'll tell you the story.
Yeah.
So anyway, the bottle of Grange signed by all the Prime Ministers, you know, we were asked three of them, yes, yes, yes. We asked Paul Keating and he refused to sign.
Well, what?
Calling him out right here, right now.
I like him now.
Well, listen to my story. So anyway, his thing was, you know, I'm just sick of all these professional, you know, fundraisers. Just this very,
What a spiteful man.
just like
He's a glass half empty kind of guy.
refused, right? Anyway, so I was
Negative
like,
Norman, if you will.
Yeah. Right.
of the biggest kind. I was just gobsmacked. It would take him 10 seconds knowing it was going to, raise money for a charity to find a cure for, anyway.
Horrible disease.
Yeah.
Yes.
So anyway, he refused to sign. We got all the other ones to sign, and the bottle actually became a bit of a thing because it was the bottle of Grange that, you know, Paul Keating refused to sign. Right? So this was Melbourne-based. I got a phone call from a guy in Sydney, and he said, oh, actually, you'll know about this. I have to tell, I've gone too far. So anyway, I told my friends everyone found out about him refusing to sign. One of my girlfriend's friends was a radio person, Helen Razor. She then told her media mates, and it was picked up by radio stations. Oh my
Really?
God. Oh my God.
This is funny.
Some newspapers.
It went viral.
It was
He would be mortified.
nuts. Well, so I'm driving home one day after work. My phone rings. It's a man. Is this Lena Morocco? I go, yes, it is. It's Paul Keating here.
He called you.
He rang me.
Oh, wow.
Damn
was
straight he
just-
did.
It's lucky I didn't slam my car into I was like, right, okay. Anyway, he went on a tirade.
Hey, you?
Yep.
Oh, why?
About the whole thing of him not signing the bottle and the shock jock. They were his words. Me telling the shock jock,
Oh, the Sydney
you know,
person. Okay,
the media person.
Okay.
And I was like, couldn't get a word in edgeways.
Did he sign it in the end? I'm dying to know.
Okay, so I said to him, the first thing I said is, I didn't know, I didn't deliberately send it to the media. It got out through a friend, you know, I didn't know.
Yeah.
And then I said to him, and this was what I thought was my trump card. I said, Mr. Keating, I'm not a professional fundraiser. I have MS and I'm fundraising to find a cure.
Go, Lena.
Yeah, my
Yes,
ace, right?
Lena.
My trump card.
Yeah.
Pull it.
Well, you know what? He still wouldn't do it. Right? He still said no.
Fuck
We
him.
went on for a bit longer. And then when I was like, well, he ain't going to sign it, and it was coming to an end, I said, well, Mr. Keating, I just want you to know that all those years ago, I voted for you.
Oh, wow.
And you know what he said to me?
What?
he said something like, well, I'm glad you've got some brains, or something like that.
What?
And he hadn't.
And he never signed it.
Never signed it.
Nah, all right. He's cancelled.
He's cancelled.
You know, it was such a great,
Wow.
you know,
good story.
It was a great story, and we had a lot of fun with it. And you know, I hope that now that he's getting elderly, he might look back on that moment and think, well,
Perhaps I should have been more kind.
yeah, perhaps I
might.
could have signed it.
I hope this does find it into his
And there you go.
under his screen.
Would those stories have happened without MS?
No, thank you,
no.
Paul Keating.
That's right, you're right.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah. What else are we going
I think that's a wrap.
to... It's a wrap.
I'm exhausted. Are you
Yeah, we
exhausted?
don't.
Lena, you should be on radio. You're fucking awesome.
Oh, okay, never, but yeah.
You should. You're great.
Yeah,
the way
we
you
do.
refer back to listeners and yeah.
Oh, okay,
good.
never.
That was
Thank
that was
you,
definitely my most favourite one we've done.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so nice.
Yeah,
Thank
flowed.
you.